Hello there, we're back. Today's video we'll be discussing, hopefully briefly, my film soundtrack collection. I feel like I'm pulling at straws now because I've gone through my bookshelf of film books. So feel free to check that out. That's either just come out or it comes out after this, as well as my complete Blu-ray shelf collection. It's quite crazy. But I wanted to kind of also give you more detail of I guess what I like to listen to. This idea I got recently from, well, I mean, the idea of collecting these I only got recently, as in like last year, from a Wes Ellis I follow on Twitter and Instagram. I like his photography, and sometimes on his story he'll be posting like, "Oh, this is the soundtrack I'm listening to right now," and I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting. I didn't, I know music has scores and soundtracks, and sometimes I don't think to listen to them outside of what you get in the film. And I have like extra ones that I've gotten in Blu-ray sets. Say for example, I have The Fog, the soundtrack for that, Escape New York, and They Live. I have all of them as individual soundtracks that came with their big 4K collections. Fortunately, I don't have The Thing, which is my favorite soundtrack from John Carpenter, which is weird because, of course, Halloween is probably his most famous, and I do love that one as well. And I don't have that one either, which sucks. Eventually I'll get them, but you know how it goes. Outside of that, this is soundtrack/score. So let's take a look at them, shall we? I've got two piles, so I'll start with this one. This one, first up, we have probably one of my favorite ones to listen to, Blade Runner 2049. Because I love everything about this film, and I also love its music. It doesn't have anything about what songs it has in terms of soundtrack on the back, which is annoying, but it does have 2 discs, because there is a lot of stuff in here. So, yeah. Also, yes, if you're surprised that I still collect physical CDs, don't be. I like to collect physical CDs. I then burn them onto my computer and play them from there. I like having a collection of CDs, alright? Jeez, I grew up with my dad having vinyls and CDs as well. Hence the books, hence the movies. I don't like streaming. I don't use streaming services outside of Netflix and Stan, and that's only for like TV shows that are exclusive. Next up we have Reservoir Dogs, because of course this is pure soundtrack from, of course, the heart and soul of Tarantino. If you're interested in what the difference is between sound and score, soundtrack and score, soundtrack is of course a compilation of songs usually not made for the film, or it's made for the film but it's like pop music, rock music, stuff with lyrics and stuff like that. Score is the stuff that plays throughout the movie with themes and stuff. So you might have like an original song made for the movie, like a bad example, that recent Charlie's Angels movie that had like 3 artists make a song for it, and that was like part of their advertising campaign, but the song was garbage and so was the movie. But that's a soundtrack thing, whereas a score would be like the orchestra or that weird electronic stuff you hear in the background, because most people don't make scores anymore. Either way, soundtracks are usually more fun because they're like a compilation of music from different artists. Say, for example, again, like this, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is another example of a soundtrack. This doesn't have any of its score because it doesn't really have much of a score. All of the songs are pretty much soundtrack stuff, sometimes used as score. Like, I think Oh Katrina is... Teenage Dream, I would say definitely is. Anthems of a 17-year-old Girl. Ramona, they actually play for acoustic and the full version of Ramona as well. So those are some pretty decent, good examples of like, oh, they use it as kind of like a score to be able to influence the emotions of the film and stuff like that. Next up we have Tarantino's Death Proof, my favorite film of his. And one of my favorite of his soundtracks. Delectable. Next up we have quite a uniquely packaged one. This is Thom Yorke's Suspiria, which is a beautiful cover. Beautiful soundtrack as well. Like, look at that. Double disc, so of course they slide out that way. Similar kind of deal. Really nice. Then we have Un Film di Dario Argento. Suspiria. This cost me way too much. This was like $35 for like 12 songs. not really worth it in terms of that. But at the same time, you do also get the score to Suspiria, so that's also really cool. So I guess that's a plus in itself. It wasn't imported one, exported, came in from another country to get here, so that's really cool. Next up we have, this is probably my favorite in terms of cover design. This was also really hard to get. Interstellar, because I really like the soundtrack from this film, and it's really quiet and meditative and beautiful. Hans Zimmer really knows what he's doing. I love this film as well, by the way. That's why I have the screenplay as well. So it comes with two. Oh my god, that's a booklet. Comes with a little booklet, which is cute. I don't even know if I saw that the first time. Then it comes in a package like this, where it has a star wheel, and you can actually. It's all this whole constellation because you open up and the disc. This is the soundtrack disc, has this whole constellation. So, that's really cool and unique, and upside down and everything. So, really cool design. I don't know why they did that, but at the same time, I don't mind. It was worth every penny. The rest of these are purely soundtracks, I believe, except for the last one. So let's get into it. This is the limited collector's edition of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You'll notice because you can see his eyes, and then you can't see his eyes, kind of. It's like a lithograph thingy. What do they call it? I don't know. You're not exactly always meant to see his eyes, alright? It's hard to show on camera. It kind of wavers. But that's a limited edition version because it comes with that cover, which is really cool. And of course, on the inside comes with the mega awesome disc with a amazing soundtrack from an amazing film. Then you have the collector's edition of the Pulp Fiction soundtrack. Look, I love Tarantino soundtracks, right? The only one I don't think I have is like Jackie Brown, and I don't think they made one from Inglourious Bastards. At least it hasn't been in Australia. There has been Django I've seen, but I haven't got, nor The Hateful Eight. Don't know if I'll get them. Maybe someday, but still. Next up we have, this one took me a hell of a long time, because I saw it one time, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should use my money or not, it's $35. Couldn't find it for 3 more months. Then I found it, and I bought it straight away for like 20% off. Luckily, Kill Bill, Volume 1. Beautiful soundtrack, I love it. It is a megalith of good-ass music. And then, of course, you have another really fun one. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Motion picture soundtrack. Really good. This one is exceptionally made because it's like... it sounds like you're listening to the songs on the radio, which is really cleverly done because you get all these ads and stuff for like 1969 from this particular radio station, which I think is really clever and really well done and would probably sound tremendous on vinyl. So, yeah, but I'm more of a CD person. Sorry. Then you've got Baby Driver, the 2-disc edition pack. I don't have the second one that they made for Baby Driver, because I don't really care to get it. If it's not music that's in the movie, I don't really care. I hope they get the Guardians ones for that record as well. I have the Thirst one, but I think that's only on... I don't have it on CD, I've only got it on my computer. Don't have the second one, though, which is disappointing. And lucky last, we have the film music of Ennio Morricone. See? Ennio Morricone. This is 17 songs on one disc and 16 songs on another. Unfortunately, I don't recognize them all, but at the same time, it is a beautiful set with some amazing music because, of course, Ennio Morricone has made some beautiful music. And that's it. That's the whole entire collection I have in terms of CD. I don't think I have any more soundtracks, at least I don't personally own any more. We might have some more on the CD shelf in the theater room, but I'm not going to go through all that. Not to mention all the vinyls and stuff we have. But again, I don't own any of them because I don't own vinyl. Which may seem ironic because some of the Blu-rays we have on the shelf I don't own. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but that's my forte. Whereas vinyl and soundtracks aren't. CDs aren't my forte. So yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more. Check out my film shelf playlist where this will also be included. Same as my film book collection, my Blu-ray shelf, and all the many collections, Criterion, Arrow Video, Shout Factory, 4K, bibbidi bobbidi boop, all the troops in one basket. Yep. Thanks. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more. And comment too if you've got some really cool soundtracks you think I should check out, because I love listening to soundtracks. And scores, either. It's all good. Usually it's on YouTube, but at the same time, if I think it's worth buying because I want to get it on my phone, that's what I do, because I don't have Spotify. Adios.